So here, so I said about DTL, right? So in DJANGO template language, I said how to work with the control statements. In the control statements, I said how to work with the if tag we have seen, and after that, I said about a looping tag called for loop. So then after that, so I'm talking about reusability of templates. So the content of one template can be used inside another template in two ways. One is template inheritance, and one more is what? Template including. And I said template inheritance. So template inheritance is a process of acquiring the properties and behavior of one template inside another template. And template inheritance allows two things. One is reusability and one more is extensibility. So template inheritance required two tags. One is extends and one more is what? Block. So here you required two things. So template inheritance required two tags. So it required two tags. So one is extends and it followed by template name. So extends it followed by template name and one more is a block. So what is exactly this is? Now this allows to use the content of one template. Okay, assume that this is a base template. Okay, this is a base template. Template means HTML file. Always a template is called which file? HTML file. Okay, assume that this is a base template, base.html. Okay, assume that this is which template? Base template. Okay. And this template is having some tags. This template is having some tags, right? So you'll write like this HTML. So you may write some header. Okay, right? So then you write here body. Okay. So there is a header and body and then HTML. Now this is called as a base template and this template is inherited by, so this template is inherited by another template here. So this is which template here? Base class, and this is what here? Derived. So derived template, derived dot HTML. Now you can say this is a parent and this is what here? Child. So it means whatever content is there here, whatever content is there here, whatever content is there here, this content is inherited in derived template. That means it is inherited HTML, header, body, everything is inherited here. But in this template, I want to add some new features. In this template, I want to add some new features. Getting on it. I want to add some new features. Then how can I add some new features into this template? You cannot add it just like that. So if you want to add a new features, you can add the new features in the derived template by creating one block. You create one block. It is just like an abstracts. It is just like what here? Abstracts. Now you are creating one block. I'm saying here block. Some name. Okay, some name. I'm giving a name as what here? Content. What is the name of the block here? Content. So you may have either one block or you may have multiple blocks. So you define the block with empty. You define the block with what here? Empty. Empty, you define it. So this is what here? End block. So there is a beginning of the block and there is what here? End of the block. So this you can call it as what here? Abstracts. Okay, right. So you want to add anything inside this? What do you do? It? How can I add some new things inside this? You cannot add directly. You cannot add what here? Directly. You want to add some new things here? Then how you add new things here? By defining inside what? Block. You'll try to define inside a block. You'll say percentage. Percentage block. Block, what is it? Content. Percentage block content. And here you add some new features. Add new features. You are adding some new features. And there is a beginning of the block. And there is what here? End of the block. So this is nothing but overriding. This is nothing but what here? Overriding. Overriding. What you are overriding? So block. The block defined in which template? Base template within what? Derived template. Yes, sir. So this is called as what here? Overriding. Overriding the tag which is there in which template? Base template within which template? Derived template. So here you are adding some new features. But how you are adding new features? By overriding it. How you are adding new features? By override. Hang on. So compulsory you have to use how many tags here? 2 tags. Okay, now how you inherit it? You inherit it by using how you inherit. Okay, you inherit by using which keyword? Extends. What is the name of the tag you are using here? Extends. Open the block. Now this is a tag and what is the name of the tag? Extends. The name of the tag is extends and it followed by what is the name of the template? Base.html. Extends base.html and then you're trying to close this. Now what is the first statement you are writing here? Extend. Extend which template here? Base template. Within which template here? Derived template. Then you want to add some new features. Compulsory you can add the new features by using which one? Block. If you don't define the block, can you extend it? Without defining the block, can you extend it? No, you cannot extend it. If you want to add any new things to the child template, compulsory you have to define what here? Block. Compulsory you have to define the block. Without defining the block, you cannot add some new features. You cannot add the new features. Let me tell you. Okay, let me tell you with an example. So you are using how many tags for inheritance here? 2 tags. One is extends and one more is what? Block. So what is the syntax of block? Is block followed by name. So any name you can give because this name is not predefined. This name is what? User defined. This name is not predefined. This name is what here? User defined. Okay. So let me tell you with an example here, like how. Okay, right. So how to define this? See here, block defined like an abstracts. Block define what here? Abstract. Abstract means it defines some set of rules and regulations which has to be implemented by which type? Derived type or child type. So that is what you represent by using which one? Block here. Okay, for example, now templates. In the template, I'm creating one template. So what is this template is? Base.html. What is this template? Base.html is a template. Okay, base.html is a template. Okay. Now in this, what I want to do is Okay, in this, I want to develop one navigation bar. I want to create one navigation bar. I want to create a navigation. And that navigation is a common for all the other templates. That navigation is common for all the templates. Now, in the previous class, we copied the same code in all the templates or not? Yes. But now you are not copying all the code in all the templates. But every template inherit from which template? Base template. Every template inherit from which template? Base template, right? So I want to create a navigation. Okay, then I just use dynamic link. There's bootstrap here. So I just use bootstrap. So I just use dynamic link here. Okay, now this is dynamically you're loading the CSS. So here I'm saying here some XYZ company. Okay, XYZ company. Then I just use this and I want to put one navigation here. So I just take one navigation here. Navigation means components. So there is a navigation bar. I take one navigation bar. Okay. Now assume that this is a navigation bar. So it is very bigger. Okay. Okay. We'll take this one. Okay. Now this is one navigation bar. I copied this. Now you can just test it. Run with what? Live server. If you run with live server, now you can see this is a navigation. Okay, right? Now this is a navigation bar. And I want this navigation should be the same for all the other templates. But only the content get what changed. Only content get changed, but everything is what here? Same. Everything is the same. Then what do you do it? Now here I create another template. So what I'm doing is I'm creating another template. And this template, you can call it as, assume that this is a child1 dot what? HTML. This is a child1 dot HTML. This template inherits. So what it inherits here? I'm using a tag. What is the name of the tag I'm using? Extends. So which template it is extending here? Base dot which one? HTML. It extends base dot HTML. Extends. Hang on. So what is the name of the tag? Extends. Yesterday we have seen, right? The name of the tag is extends. So this is extends in DJANGO. So this is extends, percentage extends. Okay. Like the system allows for creation of base templates, HTML structure like header, footer, navigation that can be reused across multiple child templates. So we created base template like this. Okay. And after that, I extend this base template within what? Child template. So this is a base template and extends which one here? Child template. This is child template. In the child template, what I'm doing is I'm writing H1. I'm writing this is which template? Child template. I just written like this. This is a child template. It is inherited which template? Base template. And then I said this is child template. Okay. Now then I try to use this child template by writing one view. So create one view. So this is view. This is what here view 7. And here I'm saying a request. Okay, response. Okay, response equal to render. Okay, render. And here I'm saying request comma. What is the name of the template? Child1 dot HTML. Okay, child1 dot HTML. And context, I'm not sending any context. Then return. What do you return here? response. So what is the name of the view here? View 7. To this you are sending what here? Request. View 7. To this you are sending a request and render request child1 dot html, and you are trying to define what here? Context. Okay, then define the urls dot py. So I'm just writing a path. So path, what is the name of the view? View 7. Okay, view 7, and I'm trying to call. So I'm trying to call the view 7. This is URL. And using this URL, you're trying to call which one? This view. Using this URL, you're trying to call this view. So what is the name of the view you are calling? View 7. The view which you are calling is a view 7. I'm writing a Python. So manage dot py run server. So here I'm trying to call the view, and the view which I'm calling is a view 7. I just write a view 7. Now you can see navigation, home, features, pricing, and disabled. But where is this child template? Is it any content called child template here? No. It is just having only the content of which one? Base template. But where is the content of child template? So child is having features of parent as well as child, right? Are we added content in the child template or not? See here, are you added content in child template or not? Yes, you added one content. What is the content you added? This is a child template. But is it displayed this? Is it displayed this or not displayed? Not displayed. How can you add extra content? You cannot add the extra content directly. You cannot add the extra content directly. If you want to add extra content, you can add extra content only by defining which one? Blocks. You can add extra content only by defining which one? Blocks. Now you want to add some content. You want to add some contents here after navigation. You want to add some content. Now create one block. So percentage block, and just define the content. Any name you can give. But what is the name I've given here? Content. So this is the beginning of the block. Yes. So there is a block. And what is the name of this here? Content. Percentage block. Okay, percentage block. And what is the name of this here? Content. Content. And then you close the block by saying what here? End block. So there is a beginning of the block and there is a end of the block. So what is the use of this block? To define the content of which template? Child template. This is called overriding. Overriding. Now this is empty, right? Now you try to define this inside which template? Child template, to define the properties of which one? Child. So you want to add this feature. Now which one you want to add? This is child template. Then how you add it? By overriding. How you add it? By overriding block. Block, what is the name of this block? Content. So percentage, okay, block. So what is the name of this here? End block. So there is a beginning of the block and there is what? End of the block. So now I'll try to run this. Now if I run this, now you can see this is what here? Child template. So it means you cannot add any content within the child template without overriding which one? Block. Inherit the base template. Now you want to add extra content, right? Base is generalized. Base template is what? Generalized. Generalized means common for all the templates. And the template which inherit is what? Specialized. The template which is inherited is what? Specialized. So that should have some extra features other than which template? Base template. Then how you are adding that extra features? How you are adding that extra features? You are adding that extra feature by defining what? Block. So this block followed by any name. Any name you can give, but here I've given the name as what here? Content. So that is extends, and one more is what here? Block. So this is the same. Now you can see this is a child template. This is a child template 1. I just write here this is child template 1. Now I create one more template here. Okay, assume that I just write one more template, that is child template. Okay, child template 2 dot HTML. So this is another template where I'm saying percentage extends, and what it is extends base dot HTML, and end with again percentage and override. What do you override? Block, and block, and what is that? Content. Block and content. And here you try to define the data. Here you try to define the data. Now I'm saying here S2. So this is a child template. This is a child template. What here? 2. And there is a beginning of the block, and there is what here? End of the block. Now you want to change. You want to change even title. Suppose what is the title is? The title is given as what? XYZ company. Right? Whenever it moves from one template to another, I want to change the title. Like if it is in child 1, I want to change the title to what? Child 1. If it is a child 2, I want to change the title to what? Child 2. I want to change the title to what? Child 2. Then how can I change it? So again, you define one more block. Block for which one? You define the block for which one? Title. So here, you have a title or not? Yes. You define the block for which one? Title. Means inside the title, you create one block. So this is a base class, base template title. And if you want to change this title, what do you do it? You try to override. Which block? Title block. See, whichever you want to modify in the child template, you modify it by using which one? Block only. You modify it by using block. Okay, right? You try to modify by using the block, right? So this is child 1 and this is what here? Child 2. I'm writing another view. I'm writing another view, and what is the name of the view is view 8. Okay, view 8, and I send a request here. Now response equal to render. Okay, request comma child 2 dot HTML, and I'm not sending any data. Oh yeah, the context is nothing here, and return response. Return response, and then define the URLs. So define the URL, path for this view here. Now what is the name of the view? View 8. What is the name of the view? View 8. And I'm calling the view, okay, the name of this view is view 8. Okay, right? So this is how you are trying to do it. So refresh this, and this is child template 1, and this is a child template what here? 2. But is it this navigation is the same for both the templates or not? Yes. So for this, you're trying to use how many tags here? 2 tags. One is extends, and one more is what? Yes. One is extends and one more is block. So just to write some points related with this, we'll take from documentation. So I've just taken from here, right? So instead of writing my own content, I've just taken from here. So the most powerful and most complex part of Django templates engine is Template what here? Inheritance. Template inheritance allows you to build a base. Base is nothing but what? Skeleton template that contains all the common elements of your site and define the blocks that child template can override. So for that, you are trying to use how many tags? Two tags. So one is extends. So the extends tag is a key here. It tells the template engine that this template extends another template. When the template system evaluates this template, first it locates the parent. In this case, what is it here? Base.html. And at that point, the template engine will notice that there are three blocks. In this example, how many blocks are there? Three blocks are there. And block tag base.html and replace those blocks within the content of which template? Child template, depending on the value, what you define it. Depending on the value, what you define it, right? So here, extended tag. So percentage extends. It followed by template name. It followed by template name. So this is the first tag in. So this is a first. This is first line in. This is first line in which template here? Child template. This is a first line in child template. So this indicates. Okay, child template extends. Child template extends. So here the template name defined with what is it here? Extends, which is nothing but parent template or base template. And next one is percentage block, and it followed by what is that here? Block name. Actually, it is called as which name? Block name. Block name. It followed by block name. So this is having two things. One is a beginning of the block, and one more is what? End of the block. So block name. So this tag is used. This tag is used to override the content of base template. To override the content of base template within which template? Derived template, or it is called as which one? Child template. Means until unless you don't define the block, you cannot add new features into which template? Child template. Compulsory you have to define what here? Block. Compulsory you have to define the block in order to override. So here you are trying to use two things here, right? Then next one is, now this is extends and template and block name, and it followed by which one? End block. Understood this both, right? But whenever you are talking about overriding, see here, this is what you learn in Python, right? When you work with inheritance, you will say class. Okay, class A. So class A, and I write what is the method is M1 method. And here I'll say M1 of which class? A class. Okay, then there is a class B, and class B derived from which class? A class. And class B override M1 method of which class? Override M1 method of which class? A class. Now this is nothing but which method? Overriding method. Okay. And base class method is called which method? Overridden method. So here also same thing. This is called as which one? M1 is a block of which template? Base template. And that you are modifying in which one? Child template. What is the child template here? B. What is the name of the block? M1. What is the name of the block? M1. Now sometimes what will happen is, when you are working with inheritance allows two things. One is reusability and one more is what? Extensibility. One is reusability and one more is extensibility. It means, now suppose I said M1, okay, self Now this is one instance method, and this is a method. Okay, this is called as which method? Overridden. Overridden method. This is called which method? Overridden method. There is a class B, inherit which class? A class. And here I try to override which method? M1 method of base class. And within this M1 method, I want to include the features of M1 method of which class? A class. Then what do you do it? You just use which one? Super. You're trying to use which one? Super. Super dot, what is it? M1. Means you are including the features of which method? Base class method within what? Derived class. You are including the features of base class method within derived class, and at the same time, you are adding some extra features. At the same time, you are adding some extra features. And what is the extra features? I just add one name called which one? Overriding method. It means this overriding method is having the features of which method? Base class method, and it is also having its own features. But here, this M1 method is completely modified in which class? Derived class. But is it, are you added these features or not added? Not added. You replace M1 method of, you modified M1 method of which class? Base class within the derived class. But is it this feature is added or not added? Not added. Inheritance here. If I see your faces, only blank faces. Blank A class. Okay, this is which one here? Parent. Parent. Parent is there, no? Parent. Parent. Parent what here? Speak. Parent what here? Speak. Speak is a parent. So parent speak in Hindi. Parents speak in what? Hindi. Okay. Now that is inherited by which one? Child. So child also speak in what? Hindi. How many methods are there in child? How many methods are there in child? One method. Very good. One method. So what is the name of this method? Speak. Okay, now I create a child object. C1 equal to what? Child. C1 dot speak. Child speak in which language? Hindi. But it is inherited from whom? Parent. Very good. Now in Hindi. Now child speak in Hindi, but Hindi speak is not a operation of which one? Child. It is inherited from parent. But when it comes to the child, the speak is what? Override. Override. Now print, print I'll say in English. In what here? English. Now child speak in what? English. He cannot speak Hindi. He cannot speak what? Hindi. He can speak only English. What is the message is in English? Means completely modified. Which one is modified? Speak. Speak is inherited from parent only, but it is completely modified. He can speak only what? English. But when it comes to the child, he want to speak the language of parent as well as what? English. Now he can speak the language of parent as well as what? English. Then what do you do it? What do you do it? Super. You'll write what? Super dot speak. Then super is referring to which class? Parent class. And when child speak parent language and is also having English. Now how many? In Hindi as well as in English. How many languages speak in? 2 languages. But one language is inherited from whom? Parent. And is having his own language. Understood? So that is reusability and extensibility. That is reusability and extensibility. Reusability as well as extensibility. Right? You are trying to do 2 things here. One is reusability and one more is extensibility. Right? Can you hear my voice, right? Is it? Yes. It's audible, right? So those who are not able to, okay, right? So please check your side. Now, now this is how it is done. Okay, right? In the same way, now here also you can use how you are including base, how you are including parent functionality in the child by using which one? Super. Super is always referring to which one? Immediate parent class. And including the functionality or not? Yes. Now here you can call this as a one block. Tell me, this is one block or not? Yes, this is one block. What is the name of this block? Speak. So this block is inherited in which template? Child template. So block is inherited as it is, and I want to add some new features. Then you can override directly, right? But I override, but I want to include even I want to include the content of which template? Base template. Then I should include this content by using again what here? Super. And super followed by what? Block. What is the name of the block here? Speak. Now in template inheritance also, you can include it by using what here? Block dot super. You're just using what? Block dot super. Now this will include the content of which block? Super class. Sorry, so I mean base template. It include the content of which template? Base template block within the derived. So if you want to include, now this is one more point, parent template. So you just use block dot super. Now this is a block, and this generally you try to use within the block. So just to see, now this is including. This is what here? Including the content of. It says including the content of which template? Base template block inside which template? Child template. So that is done by using block dot super. So let me tell you this also. But first I'll try to copy this example. So block dot super. Where do you write this? Where you write this block dot super? Now in this case, where you are writing this super dot m1 in child template, right? In child template, in which block you write? M1 block. So inside M1 block, if you say block inside M1 block, if you say block dot super, it is referring to which one? If you say block dot super in M1, if I'm saying block dot super, it is referring to which block? M1 block. Inside title block, if I'm saying block dot super, it is referring to which block? Title block. Okay. So always this is written in which block? Overridden block. In overriding block, you include the content of which block? Overridden block. So let me tell you with an example. Otherwise, okay, no percentage, because this is inserting what? Content. And how you are inserting a content? By using one variable. And what is the name of this variable here? Super. So you can insert directly the data within the child template, right? So let me first clear this. I mean, this example you understood? This example you understood? What is here? Yes or no? Okay. Now this is base.html. I said, once we start moving to forms, and all other things, I don't repeat template again. Okay, at that time, I should not ask what is that super base block. I'll not tell you. Okay, na? So you have to learn all the things. So this is a child one, and this is a child two dot HTML. So you have to practice. Okay. Now this is views dot py. So you need to write URLs. I'm not including URLs. Okay, na? I'm just including what here? Views. Now for this example, I created how many views? Two views. So for this views, you create what? URLs. URLs dot py. In URLs dot py, just include path. So just include two paths and then test it. Okay. Now let me tell you about including. Sorry, let me tell you about including. So here I create one template. So I create one template, and what is the name of the template is base1 dot html. I create one template called base1 dot html. Now here I take. So what is this here? Okay, now this is assume that this is which template? Main template. This is a main template or this is a base template, and this is a title of my document. This is the title of this document, but this title I want to change it whenever I move from one template to another. Then what do you do it? Overwrite. What do you do it? Overwrite. But in base template, it is what? Main template. But when it moves to the child template, it should change it based on from one template to another template. From one template to another template, then what do you do it? You overwrite by creating which one? Block. Block. What is the name of this block? I'll say block. How I write it? Block. And what is the name of the block? Title. What is the name of the block I've given? Title. Now this is beginning of the block. This is beginning of the block, and this is end of the block. So there is a block. Now this is the beginning of the block. So this is the beginning of the block, and this is what now? End of the block. So how you end the block? End block. How you end the block? End block. Right? So this why I included this inside a block? Because I want to modify this content. I want to modify this content, right? In the same way, okay. Then this is inherited as it is or not? Yes. Then after that, now this is the content. So within the content, what you are doing it, you are trying to create some, what you are trying to do it, you are trying to create some links. Okay, assume that you are trying to create some links. You are creating a links. Already now one base.html is there. In base.html, I just take this navigation, but I don't take this many number of. Okay, now this is base1.html. So this is the content. So base.html. So I copy this navigation here because I want to have the same navigation. I want to have same navigation here. Okay. So what I'm doing is, so let me check this. Okay, now these are some are there. So home features and one more is what? Price. Now three things are there here, right? So let me, yes, remote this also. So home features and one more is a pricing. See, if you run with the server, you run with a live server, what is the title is? What is the title is? Block title main template. Because this tag is executed within the browser or server side? Server side. Who execute these templates? Template tags are executed by whom? Template engine. Template tags are executed by which one? Template engine provided by whom? Server. Okay, na? So if you run with the live server is just run within the browser, but browser understand only which language? HTML. But here we included what? Block title, main template and end block. This is not understood by which one? Browser. It is not client side. These tags are not client side. Tags are these tags are executed at which side? Server side. By whom? DJANGO template engine. DJANGO template engine. Right? So this is a base one dot HTML. Now in this, I try to define some content. In this, I try to define some content. Content, I'm defining it. So there is a block, percentage, percentage. There is a block. What is this here? Content. See, you can have any number of blocks. You can have any number of blocks. Don't think that you have to write only one block. You can have any number of blocks. Okay, any number of blocks you can have it. Any number of blocks. Now this is okay, this is block. I'm just writing a block content. I just written block content and percentage. What is it here? End block. So in this, you have already some content. Content is there here. Already some content is there here. What is the content is there here? Block content. Block content. Now this is parent block content or base template content. Okay. And this content is inherited by which template? Derived. Derived or what do you call it as child template. So it inherit. Now just to select the new. Okay. Now this is, I'm writing here child, some child 3 dot. What is this here? HTML. And here I'm writing percentage. Percentage. What is that? Extends. Percentage extends. And what is the name of this template? Base 1.html. Base 1.html. Now here I want to change the title. Here I want to change what? Title. How can I change the title? By overriding. By overriding a block. And what is the name of the block here? Title. By overriding the block, what is the name of the block here? Title. And here I'm giving a title as what is this here? Child template. Child template 1 and percentage. What is this here? End block. Percentage end block. Now you are trying to change which one here? Title. You're changing the content of which one? Title. In the same way, I want to change the content of which one? I want to change which content? Block content. I want to change which content? Block content. Then I'm saying percentage block content. Block content. Okay, I'm overriding. Which one? Block content. If I'm saying block content, okay, so if I don't override this, is it inherited as it is or not? Yes. If I don't override it, that block is inherited as it is. What is the content of that block base parent? What is the content of this block? Block content that is inherited what? As it is. This content will be inherited what? As it is in what? Child template. But I want to inherit and I want to inherit and at the same time I want to add some new I want to inherit. At the same time, I want to add some new features. I want to inherit. At the same time, I want to add some new features. How can I add some new features? Then I'm saying block. What is the name of this block here? Content. And here I want to include what I want to insert the content of which template? Base template block, right? Then what I'm doing it here? Block dot what is that? Super. Now here super refers to which block? Okay, see here. This tag I've written in which one? Block content. Means when I say block dot super, it is referring to which block? Content block. And the content block is included inside what? Child template. Included in what? Child template. And here I'm writing this is okay, this is a child template. This is a child template. This is a child template. What here? One. This is a child template. This is child template one. Means, are you added some new features or not? Yes. Now there is a beginning of the block and there is what? End of the block. There is a beginning of the block and there is a end of the block, right? So I try to run the child template. I'm trying to run which template? Child template. Otherwise, what you have to do is you have to link with what? Base template. When you click on first link, then it should open which template? Child template. Then for that, what you have to do? You have to write one. You have to write what? Views. And you have to, when you click on that hyperlink, you should call which one? View. So let me do that also. Let me open views. You understood this code? Tell me here, you understood this code? What you are doing in this? What you are doing first? You are inheriting which template? Base template. And you want to change the title. Changing title means you override which one? Title block. Okay, you want to add some new content. You want to use the base template content and you want to add some new content. Then again you are overriding. What you are overriding? Block. Which block you are overriding? Content. And in that you are including the content of which one? Super block content. And at the same time you added some new features or not? Yes. You added some new features. You are including the content of base template and you are adding some new features by overriding a block whose name is what here? Content. Overriding is not compulsory. When you override it, when you want to modify. When you override it, when you want to modify. If you don't want to modify it, is it inherit as it is or not? Yes, here. In this case, if you see this one, okay, in this case, in the Python example, right? Here, if I'm not writing this, if I write simply pass, what will happen? Is a speak is inherited or not? Yes. So what is the name of the block? Speak. What is the content of this? In Hindi. So even child also speak in what? Hindi. What is the name of the block? Speak. Now when you want to modify this method, then only you try to use what? Override. Then only you try to use what here? Override. Override. Then in this, you complete to override. In English, you override completely means, is it any features of parent is there in child? Any feature of parent is there in child? No. Because parents speak in what? Hindi. But child speak in what? English. Now you want to add same feature of which one? Parent. Then you should include features of parent or not? Yes. By saying super dot. Super dot which one? Speak. Here also you are doing the same thing. Understood? Right. Then first I'm creating a view. So view, some view 9 and I'm just writing a request. A response equal to render request comma. So what is the name of this here? Base 1 dot HTML. Base 1 dot HTML. I don't define the context and return response. And there is another view. So there is a view 10 and again I'm sending it receive the request and response equal to render request comma. So child 3 dot HTML, and here the context is, I'm not sending anything, but sending this context is optional. It is not compulsory. Then just go to urls.py, go to urls.py and define URL patterns. So there is a path, and what is the path is view 9, comma view 9 is the name of the view which you are calling it. And there is one more view, and what is the name of that view? View 10. And what is the view you are calling? View 10, right? So in base1.html, in base1.html, when I click on this, anyway, this is home. So here, when I click on home, or you can call it as, what is this called as here? Child 3. So when I click on this, then I should send a request to which template? Child 3. So what is the name of the view? What is the name of this here? Child. What is the name of the view here? View 10. View 10, view 10 or not? When I click on this, I should send a request to what? View 10. What is the name of the view you are sending a request? View 10. You are sending a request to view 10. Okay. Extra content. Okay, extra content. So just run this. First, you need to run which one? View 9. Now, is it a block content, and this is which template? Main template. Okay, right now I click on child 3. Now you can see child template 1. Title is changed. And is it super content is there? Parent content is there or not? Yes. And added extra content or not? But how you included parent content? Block dot super. Block dot super, and added what? Extra content. Added which content? Extra content. But that is done by using which one? Super. Okay, block dot super. Understood? See, first you run which one? Base template. This is base template. This is what? Base template. And what is the title is? Main template. See here. What is the title is? Main template. See here. So this is base1.html. What is the title is? Main template. Title is main template. And what is the content of the block? Block content. Okay, na? So it is easy displayed the same thing or not? Yes. And when I click on child 3, then it will invoke which view? View 10. And that view 10 render which template? Child 3 by narrating. That render which template? Child 3 by narrating base1.html, and by overriding some blocks or not? Yes. Which blocks of parent are modified? Title block. And which one is modified? Content block. But in title is completely changed. But in content, you add content of which one? Base template, and you add some extra content. Now when I click on child, now you can see the title is completely changed. But content, the content of the block is taking the content of which template? Base template, and added some extra feature or not? Yes. Added some extra feature. But how you include the content of base template? You are including the content of base template by using, what is the name of this here? Super. You are using which one? Block dot super. Block dot super. The same way how you are referring the base class method within what? derived class. In Python, here also you are saying block dot super, right? Yes. So let me copy this. Now this is how you inherit one template inside what here? Another template. So is it this is clearer? Now you don't have any multiple inheritance, multi-level, no. Huh? So multi-level means multi-level is available, but not multiple. Okay, right? So a template inherits how many templates here? Only one template. Okay, templates inherit how many templates? One template. But if you want to inherit multiple templates, can I use extensor? Can I use extensor? Just you use extends and below that again use what? Extends. But extends allows to inherit how many templates? Only one template. Extends allows to inherit how many templates? Only one template. But let me tell you this also. Now this is again base 1 dot HTML. Base 1 dot HTML and then so child 3 dot HTML. Child 3 dot HTML, right? And then URLs dot py. I should define the path. That's all. URLs dot py. Let's define this path. So here I'm trying to create two templates. Now that is just this here. I'm trying to create two templates here. Now new file. Now this is nothing but parent 1 dot HTML. This is parent 1 dot HTML. Now you can see this is which template now? Parent template. So this is parent 1 template. This is parent 1 template. And here I define the block or I just write parent 1 template. I just write like this parent 1 template. So after that, I'm creating another template. So parent 2 dot HTML. And this is another template. But see, a title will be the same or different. So parent 2 what here? Template. Okay, parent 1 template and parent 2 template. And here I try to display the content saying H2. Now this is parent 2 template. Okay, right? Then I create which one? Child template. Generally, you don't do this. So child what here? 4 dot HTML. Generally, reusability is only one. So extends. What you are extending? What you are extending? Parent 1 dot HTML. Parent 1 dot HTML. And again, I'm writing percentage extends. What I'm writing here? Parent 2 dot HTML. So parent 2 HTML. Parent 1 dot HTML and parent 2 dot HTML. Yeah, different names. That is what I said already. We can have a multiple blocks within the same template with different names, right? So you are inheriting as it is, but are you define any blocks? No, you are not define any blocks. If you want to override or if you want to put some extra content, you have to define what? Blocks. Until unless you are not trying to define extra content, then you don't require to define the blocks. So definition, I just write some U11 and here I'm saying a request. So response equal to render a request comma, what is this? Child 4 dot HTML. So there is a context. I'm not sending any. Yes. Return. What I written here? A response. I written the response, right? So just go to the URLs dot py. So just define the path. So path. So view 11. And what is the name of this view? View 11. All right. So what will happen when I'm trying to, yes. So what will happen when I'm trying to run this? Okay. So what will happen when I'm trying to run this? Right? Comma. Comma is put. Okay, right. So what is the name of the view? View 11. When I run view 11, now see here, there is an error, right? What is an error is? Extents cannot be appear more than once in the same template. So that's the reason I said in the block, I mean in the definition, this is first line in what? Child template. This is a first line in child template means how many times you write this? Only one time. This is first line in child template means you write how many times it is? Only one time. And this indicates child template extends the template name defined with what here? Extends. Now it means is it one template can inherit more than one template or only one template? Only one template. It cannot inherit more than one template. If you are trying to write that, so immediately the server is given what? Error. Saying that extents cannot be appear more than once in what? Same template. Because it must be a first line. I said it must be a first line. If you write the same thing in second line, is it that is first line or second line? Second line. Means can it appear more than once? No, it cannot appear more than once. So that leads to which error? Syntax error, right? So then next we'll go for another tag. And what is the next tag is include tag. So there is one more tag is there. And what is the name of the tag? Include. Extends include. How many ways can you use the content of one template inside another template? Two ways. One is by using inheritance and one more is using composition. One is inheritance and one more is composition. So inheritance allows reusability as well as extensibility. But composition allows only reusability but doesn't allows what? Extensibility. So include tag is for what? Composition or inheritance? Composition. It means if you want to include the content of one template inside what? Another template, you can include it by using which tag here? Include tag. But can you add some new features? No. If you want to add new features, you need to add inside which one? General in composition, how many classes will be there? Two classes. One is, and composition, how many classes will be there here? Two classes. One is, what is one is? In composition, how many classes will be there? Two classes. One is container class, content class, composite class, component class. क्या हुआ यार भूल गए composite class, component class, composite class, component class, container class, content class. So mobile, sim. Mobile is what? Composite class. Sim is what? Component. Sim is a component of what? Mobile. So mobile uses sim. Mobile is not sim, right? Mobile inherits sim, huh? No. Mobile uses sim. Car has a engine. Car is what? Composite class. Container class. Engine is what? Engine is what? Component. Container, contained. Container class, Content class. Book has what? Pages. Book has a pages. Book has pages. Understood? Okay, so compositions are how many types? Two, right? Composition and one more is aggregation. Composition and aggregation. Composition is, what is the difference between composition and aggregation? Existency. Difference is what? Existency. Component is exist. Until which one is exist? Composite is exist. If book is destroyed, it also destroys what? Pages. Yes or no? If a mobile is destroyed, it also destroys what? Same when composition. But in aggregation, what will happen? Exist independently or not? Yes. Loose binding, tight binding. Yes. Understood? That is what aggregation and what? Composition. Include is what now? Composition. It allows to use, but it doesn't allows you to what? Modify. Inheritance allows to use as well as modify. Understood? So that is where you find the difference between composition and what? Inheritance. Okay, na? So these are same in all programming languages. Okay, na? Not only in Python, any programming language, any object-oriented programming language. So DJANGO is written in which language? Python. Python is which language? Object-oriented. Means are you implementing all the principles or not? Yes. What are the principles of object-oriented? Class, object, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, abstraction. All these are features. All these are the principles of which one? Object oriented. Now tell me, is it base template is an abstract class or not? Yes, abstracts. Abstracts defines what? Skeleton. It defines the skeleton for all which classes? Child classes. Yes or no? It defines set of rules and regulations. Are you implementing same thing in also Django? Understood? Right? So that block, you'll say no block. That block you call it as which method? Instance method. You write the content. You override in which one? Child class. And you include the content of which class? Base class method by saying super dot. Which method? Base class method. Same thing you're doing it or not? Yes. But I don't want to inherit. I don't want to inherit. I want to use. So it means mobile have multiple components. Mobile can have multiple components. Means mobile has the same. Mobile has a battery. Mobile has the same. Mobile has battery. Mobile has what? Camera. Mobile has what? Camera. Very good. Yes. So that is how you include number of components or not. Yes. But here inheritance allows only one. You can use only one template, but can include one or more than one. More than one. You can use the content of one or more than one template inside what? Current template. That can be done by using which one? Including the content. What I'm talking about is including what? Content. While including the content, you can pass the values. While including the content, you can pass information from one template to what? Another. Even that, you can also do it by using which tag? Include tag. So this is also very much useful while developing templates, right? So we'll discuss this, like how to include and how to pass the values from one template to another template. And then we'll see filters tags we'll see, and then we'll go for model forms and all the things, right? And even we'll see model relationships like one-to-one relation, one-to-many relation, and many-to-one relation. That also we'll discuss. Not today, but we'll discuss tomorrow. Yes, today we'll stop it here and tomorrow we'll continue this, right? Thank you. Please practice this Because in coming classes, you completely develop what applications. In that case, you must have a knowledge of templates. Because how you generate the output? How you generate the output using templates. If you don't know templates, will you generate output? No. Who will process the data? View. Who will generate the output? Template. View will include what? Template. View include what? Model. View include template. View include model. And generate output or not? Yes. If you don't know these things, you cannot develop project. Okay, na? Right. We'll stop it here and we'll see tomorrow. Right. Thank you. E-commerce, huh? Yes.